Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Let's Talk CFL podcast episode number 640. That's it. We've crossed the big 40 barrier in that between 6 and 700. Wow. Interesting. Anyhow, I'm your host, Christopher Jones, coming to you live from somewhere in British Columbia. I don't know where I am. Who knows? I move around a lot. So let's just say that this is where I am. And we're going to talk some football tonight. That's going to be CFL football. Football is a wonderful thing. And we've got a lot of things happening right now. The combines are going on, like who gives a shit? And we'll see what happens and carry on from that. We're going to have a draft again. Who gives a shit? We do need good, strong Canadian content to make our team successful. But reality is they're not being drafted this year. That's for sure. Did you see Alex Singleton just signed a $15 million contract or something with the Denver Broncos? Like, holy shit. Eh? Yeah, that was pretty amazing. Good for him. Good for him. I know William's a big fan. So let's introduce William right now.
$12 million is guaranteed.
Nice.
So
Will McDonald's.
Yes, sir.
Calgary, Alberta. Welcome to the show, buddy.
Were you about to say Saskatchewan? I hope not. I'm good. Everything's great. It's nice out. There's no snow. It's not winter anymore, I hope. And that's all I care about. And I think the other day I read 85 days till spring training or something like that.
Oh, cool. Cool. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, we're in the middle of what do they call it, Charles? An atmospheric river?
Atmospheric river.
Yeah. No idea what that is. I think it's just used to be called heavy rain. But
it used to be called spring in British Columbia.
Yeah. 100%. So, Charles Cliff, Abbotsford, British Columbia. Welcome to the show, buddy.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Good to see you again.
Yes, and good to be back.
We missed last week. There wasn't much to talk about, so we're kind of put it off.
We did, yeah.
So we got a fro bit here. Look at that. Ooh,
not a whole lot more to talk about, I don't think, to this week, but you never know.
There isn't, but we needed to do a show, and it was kind of important that we stay in front of everybody and talk about some things. So Mike did put a list together last week for the show, so we will touch base with that. We're going to deal with that other thing that Charles brought up, which was the Women's National Basketball Association in America. That's kind of scary. But there's some important things to say about that because it is a discussable topic for us. And I don't know who put out that article, but they did compare it to the CFL. Was that you, Charles, or was that somebody else that had written that?
Well, it was just a post that I saw on Facebook, but I thought it was very interesting as it pertains to the CFL and so on.
Okay, we'll get to that in a bit. Right now, we're going to introduce some other people there. Scott Morledge, Regina, Saskatchewan. He's one of them Rider fans.
Doing good, similar to Will. Got a bunch of snow melting. Got up to 12 degrees. And then I had my sister-in-law down from Burnaby this weekend to celebrate my wife's birthday, so that was fun.
There you go. Your sister or your sister-in-law?
Sister-in-law.
Okay, there you go. And over to Michael Dennis, Portland, Oregon, Edmonton Elks fan. How you doing, Michael?
I'm doing pretty good. I spent the last 7 days in a lot of pain.
That doesn't sound like good.
I had dental pain, and I had 2 extractions yesterday, so I'm feeling pretty better today.
Oh, yeah, it was a toothache pain. That's not good. No. Okay, that's all over
with.
That's
never fun.
No, hate it. I hate dentists, but sometimes they're a necessary evil.
Yep.
But outside of that, today was a great day. I went back to work to a whole bunch of challenges in the office and just the normal things.
Okay. So did your package arrive?
No.
Oh, really? Because it says it arrived yesterday.
You sent it U.S. mail?
Well, no, I wouldn't have said. Oh, I don't know how Canadian it came, actually. I know it wouldn't have come from me. It came from Amazon.
I'll have to take a look.
You should look.
Okay.
I got him a little present, okay? Don't feel jealous, boys. Okay.
You can send Michael all the presents you want, as long as we don't have to do what Michael has to do for that. Okay.
No,
Okay.
he doesn't.
That's what I'm gonna say.
Is that why he had to get the dental work done?
Well,
knee pads.
I don't want to go in this direction.
If you kind of think about this guy,
Okay, guys, hang on.
There's only 3 of us that are attached on this podcast. Just saying.
Okay, so I'm just guys, we are live on the podcast right now, so let's try to keep it at least a little stable. So one thing I want to say, I want to give a shout out right now to Tony Reed. He's a friend of mine, and I'm going to send him the link to this podcast because he wants to watch what our podcast is. So I'm going to give him a shout out so that he actually hears his name on the podcast, and then we'll move on from there and carry on. And let's talk some football now.
Okay.
I guess I should get up this Michael document here. Or shall we jump right into this thing that Charles put up here with the women's basketball? Let's do that, just because.
I thought,
Okay.
obviously, I've been following that story quite because Portland's going to have a WNBA team this year. And we have sold 15,000 season tickets going into this year for the women's program. So I've been following it very closely because they're supposed to go to training camp on April 19th. So we've been following this collective bargaining agreement. And the thing that the bugaboo with this contract is that they wanted it to be based on
Revenue,
full revenue, and not net profit, the revenue share. And that was the big thing. But what is revolutionary about this for the league is the minimum salary in that league is going to be $600,000.
It's skyrocketing.
No, 300.
No, I thought it was 6, wasn't it?
No, it says 300.
300.
So
Yes.
let's just I don't really want to talk too much about the basketball side of things and how wonderful it is. I appreciate the fact that you're going to get a women's basketball team and you're going to enjoy that because you kind of like looking at women, and that's a good thing. But we're gonna talk. What we want to talk about is how this compares or affects the CFL in general. And so the story is that WNBA has a new collective bargaining agreement with its players starting in 2026, which is now. The salary cap is going up from 1.5 million per team to 7 million per team. So they're going to have a $7 million salary cap. And what is there, like 7, 8 players or something? And it's a huge jump. And it's like greater than the CFL salary cap. And we have 52 players.
Yeah.
So astronomical amounts of money for these girls, and good for them. I'm happy for them and everything else. League minimum salary is going from 66,000 up to 300,000. Say what you want about the WNBA, but they now pay their players better than the CFL and have an overall higher salary cap, even though the CFL roster is larger. So that's what the article had said that Charles posted. And I don't disagree with it. Now, does this make the CFL look bad? Not in my opinion, because the WNBA is still in a 350 million people market of United States. Okay. The market is 10 times larger than the Canadian market. And so, you would have to expect that they're going to have more revenue generated from TV revenues, from sponsorships, from everything else. My question, or the reason why I believe this is an important story for the CFL, it just proves that we need to get in the fucking US market. There's no two ways about it. We are not going to survive on the mediocre money that we're getting from TSN. We need to get into a larger market for the CFL. And the largest football gridiron market in the world is United States of America. So why the hell we don't have at least one team down there? I don't know. I don't understand it. So I want you guys' opinion on this, what we're going to do, how we're going to do it. Is this something that this idiot Stuart Johnson, the commissioner, is going to do? Because I don't know. Charles, what's your take, buddy?
One thing to note about this, when it comes to the WNBA, one thing that they have that the CFL doesn't is that their revenues and their costs and stuff like that are backed up by the NBA. The NBA largely supports the
subsidizes
WNBA because it subsidizes because a lot of the teams in the WNBA are owned by NBA teams. That's something that the CFL doesn't have. So there's that, but I mean, if you look at it though, I mean, the WNBA with their, I mean, like we said, many fewer. I think they have like a 13-player roster or 15-player roster, and they've got a larger salary cap than the CFL, which is bizarre to me. But I mean, they're probably bringing in more revenue. I guess that's what it is, because I know in recent years and stuff like that, with players like Caitlin Clark and so on coming in to the WNBA, the profile of the WNBA has shot up considerably, probably over the last 5 years. So, I mean, good on them to go out and get what they wanted, to get a big bump. They've been talking about wanting a big bump in their salary cap for years. I didn't think they were going to get it, and they did. But you got to look here. But you're right. I mean, if the CFL wants to go in the same type of direction where you can get that big bump in salary cap, they're going to have to explore the U.S. market again. I don't think there's any way to avoid that because you don't have the Canadian markets here that are going to bring that bump.
If you're going to look at a model to build your business, I think you'd have to take a look at MLS. Major League Soccer is more of an equivalent to the CFL than the WNBA, because you have 30 players, but the league's been around for 30 years, and the salary cap is around $12.5 million with designated player exceptions. But what they've done is they've grown the league very, very slowly, made sure that they went into the right markets, and made sure they went into the right markets that would support the teams. And if you look at every market that's come into league since 2011 with the Portland-Vancouver expansion, every team has done very well in selling out their arenas. So the key thing is do we have in the Canadian Football League, do we have anybody at the leadership position that understands the media, understands how to grow the market, and get into the right cities?
Well, you would think that Stuart Johnson, coming from the TSN world, would understand media. You would think.
Yeah. The commissioner that used to work for TSN.
Yeah, but you seriously. They're on the CBS network here in the United States. Nobody watches that network in the United States.
That's like a tier 5 like sports network.
Yeah.
Okay, William, you got something to say on this?
Well, I think what the CFL has to start doing is what Canada should start doing. We've been pretending to be a country for all these years. Maybe we should become a country, okay? Because we've watched what's going on in the world. It's time to become a country. Maybe the CFL, it's time to become a real football league, i.e., let's try the American market. And the first thing you do when you try the American market is, if we expand to American teams, they're not going to use Canadian players in America, okay? So why should we have to in Canada? And let's become a real football league. How does that sound?
Well, I don't think there's a problem playing Canadian players. I think there's a problem forcing teams to play Canadian players.
Right, absolutely.
Right.
Because Alex Singleton is worthy of $15 million contract from the Denver Broncos. He would be...
And he's about as Canadian as Mike is, okay?
Well, no, he's a little more Canadian than Mike, but not really. At least he's played football for a year or two in Canada, and his mommy was born here.
Well,
but
it's
yes,
because the NFL wouldn't let him play in the NFL, okay?
Yeah.
He had to come
I
to
don't
the
blame
CFL.
him for what he did. Not at all.
Me either.
Right.
Okay. Scott, got an opinion?
I mean, I think kind of each and every one of you kind of hit on the right spots on this in terms of we need to expand into the US. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And we need to get a good TV deal, and right now TSN's not cutting it.
TSN's not cutting it. And nor is CBS.
And for the people out, and for the people out there saying, "Oh, we already tried the U.S. Expansion; it didn't work." Look, that was not done properly. It was done so long ago, and they rushed it because they needed an influx of money. So anybody willing to write them a check basically got a team, even though some of those checks evidently bounced. But yeah, you do the U.S. again, properly. But do it properly. Vet these people. Get stable ownership. Get stable ownership with proper stadium deals. Don't just say, "Oh, you've got money here. Here's a team." It didn't work that way because they went too quickly. They needed the money, and okay, well, here you go, Glebermans, and here you go, guy in Nick Maletti in Vegas. Oh, you got money? Thanks. Here you go. I don't know, the guy in Memphis or whatever. They just went it way too quickly. They didn't properly do their research, and it flopped. Of course it did.
But I don't believe that it failed the way that people believe it failed. I mean, it was still going strong when the NFL said, "You know what, I think we'll just give you a bucket full of money if you guys just shut down the rest of the teams."
Yeah, pretty much.
Well,
you wasn't really going. Some of these teams are drawing 10,000 people.
I'm amazed that the CFL is as old as it is, because we just have seemed to bumble and stumble along, and we're still here.
Yeah.
Imagine if you had some decent leadership and how many years did Randy Ambrosie talk about it? Let's expand to Halifax. Like, that was a brilliant idea.
Got nowhere.
Like really?
Yeah, but you guys, the Canadian Football League is a great product. I really enjoy it as an American, and I just happened to stumble across it. And the more I watched it, the more I love it. I think Americans, if they would promote this sport in America better and give it time to grow, I think the Americans would love this sport, love this league.
Well, I think they will too. It's a better football game.
And that's what I mean.
More fun to watch.
Taking your time and doing it. If they're going to do U.S. expansion, take your time and do it properly. Just don't do it all willy-nilly just to get money. Get some proper owners. Get a new TV deal in Canada. Get a proper one. Try and get on something like ESPN or something in the U.S. Something like that.
And I think one of the first things they should do is move the goalpost back to the end of the end zone. What do you think, guys?
I'm not going there.
Fucking didn't give me an aneurysm.
Okay, cool. Just thought I'd shut this whole thing down.
But think
we should bring in more kickers.
But think about it. The NFL
face palm.
In America, they've started this UFL crap. Nobody watches it. You look at the stands, it's empty. Why not have the NFL go from September until February? The CFL is a natural league to pick up, to be that other league for the people that are really hungry for football. And that's where the Canadian market, they need to focus in on.
Okay. So let's go and talk some football now. Okay. I don't disagree with you, Michael. You're 100% accurate. We need to get in and something has to change, because it's on a very slow and steady decline, and it's not sustainable. It's almost get to the point right now where it's not sustainable. So are we going to lose 2 teams in the next year and 2 teams the year after with these new rules? Because I think we're going to lose a lot of fans.
No.
And teams are fairly stable as it is. So Yeah, I don't know. I don't like the direction the league is going right now. We have to do something really quickly, in my opinion. And maybe we
100%
should
we're gonna drop.
sell CFL teams to NFL owners. I mean, shit, you could buy most CFL franchises for $40 million. They're paying quarterbacks that much.
Yeah, but
Right?
then you would be making
Then
this
you
league a
become
development league.
a CFL, yeah, a minor league to the NFL.
I don't want that.
I don't want that either.
Although
But
some,
there's a different way. There's
some
ways
people
of
would
doing
try
it.
to say it already is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They would.
Whether
Okay.
they make it or not, they keep going down there.
So let's exactly. And so let's talk about the Winnipeg Blue Bombers right now, because that's kind of where I want to go right now. Do we honestly believe the Winnipeg Blue Bombers have done enough to improve their team? They're going with the same core. They've signed the same old people, including Zach Collaros and Stanley Bryant and Willie Jefferson and everybody else. They brought in a couple of new studs. They brought in Broxton from BC. They brought in somebody from Edmonton. Who was it that they brought over? Ceresna?
Ceresna.
Jake Ceresna,
Have
yeah.
they done enough to sustain where they were? Because where they were last year was fourth place. Have they done enough to sustain fourth place, or have they done enough to get back into playoff run? William,
I
got
Go
you,
ahead,
Scott.
Scott.
Hang on.
Go ahead, Scott.
I think they've done enough to sustain themselves potentially for this season. Because last year a big part of their fail was not using Brady Oliveira. I got to imagine that's the focal point going into the season is run, which will open up the passing game and again get Zach Collaros on the run. He's dominant, and I can see him returning back to that stage. And the problem that I have with them is for this coming season, potentially for the future, no, because
Okay.
it takes time for them to get younger.
So, are you believing that they have improved on their fourth place finish in the Western Division, or do you believe that that is still out of the
TBD.
playoff run?
I think they'll be better. I just don't know how much better. Again, it comes down to running Brady Oliveira. It comes down to creating that chemistry with the receivers and everything like that. And the other part of it too is Zach still able to perform, or is he done? And that's the big question.
The last season was not good for Zach Collaros. Is
No.
he going to come back and he's going to get better? I don't know. That's a big question.
Remains
Okay,
to be
I'm going
seen.
to jump down to William now.
You know what? I don't care how good or how bad Zach Collaros played last year. He'll play better this year, I think. Winnipeg and Scott is not wrong about this year, but a couple of years down the road, they're gonna have to replace Zach Collaros. And they have
no one.
nobody
Oh.
to replace him currently.
No.
I do believe the guy that they thought would fit that bill, I think he retired.
Yeah.
No,
One of the
they
guys.
they got
One of the
that
guys.
Tyler Edison or whatever his name is, but that guy just went to the XFL or UFL or
No, that's not who I'm talking about.
No, I
He was
know, I
on
know,
the
I know,
roster.
I know. And he's still trying to make his shot in the NFL. And if that doesn't work out for him, is he going to stay in that spring league? What if that spring league collapses? Is he going to come up to BC? Because he definitely would be an improvement in their situation. But yes, their third string guy retired.
Yeah, and I haven't
After
heard a
2
lot
seasons.
I also haven't heard a lot of guys going from the UFL to the NFL, to be honest with you.
Nope.
So that's
Not a
kinda
whole
that.
lot.
So anyways, I think Winnipeg, at the very least, they're gonna stand pat with where they were last year, because I think I think all of the teams in the West have changed somewhat, but I don't think they've changed that much. And I'm talking the West only. So
Yeah.
I think it might be I think it's going to be real close this year in the West.
I think it's gonna tighten up a lot. I don't think there's going to be a runaway team, and I'm kind of hoping that Edmonton picks up their socks a little bit.
I don't necessarily agree with you. I think BC is going to be a runaway team, and then there's going to be everybody else.
Well, I can't argue with you.
I know you don't want to say that because
I don't want to say that.
I'd pick on you, but you heard it from me first, okay?
Yeah, they should be a runaway team.
Yeah,
they should be, but I'm not going to say that, and I'm not going to try to jinx it. But yeah, okay, Michael, Winnipeg Blue Bombers. You've been assessing this. You know what's happened.
I think with them, they're banking on the fact. I think the reason that they didn't go for a full out rebuild is that they want to continue to put people in their building. They're one of the two strongest teams in terms of attendance in the league. I think they have improved themselves and they've upgraded the defensive line with Jake Seresna. The only question mark is with Jake, he's coming back from a knee injury. Mm-hmm. And he had a meniscus tear. And he probably should have been shut down, but he refused to give up, and he finally he had to give it up. But they've improved with Jarrell Broxton, and then they've added a proven starter in Jonathan Moxie as a cornerback. All the people that they signed, they re-signed the majority of their existing team. I think if Collaros does not get injured, they're going to be a strong competitive team for second place.
They do have a good I'm not saying a good, but they have changed their offensive coordinator. And there's a lot of people who said the OC last year was not that good. They didn't like Buck before him either, but they didn't run the ball last year. They did not utilize Brady Oliveira the way they should have. And
the question I have, I want to ask
William, does the run set up the pass? Isn't that what you always say? Yeah. Okay.
Always has, always will.
Always has, always will. Charles, do you have an opinion on Winnipeg, or are you jumping on with the rest of us? You got something different?
You know what? I look at the what the Bombers have done. The core they brought back, but their core is aging, and it was showing their aging last year. Now, I've seen what they've done. Do I think they did enough to catch BC? No. Do I think did enough to catch Saskatchewan? No. Do I think they did enough to catch Calgary? Maybe. That I still think it's a stretch.
Because they do enough to stay ahead of Edmonton.
Probably, but I don't think it's a guarantee. If the Elks can somewhat elevate their game, they didn't finish too far behind Winnipeg last year. So, do I think Edmonton's going to catch them? No. Can they catch them? Yes. But I don't see the turnaround. I don't mind bringing back some of their older players. I just think they brought back too many. And the guys they brought in, Broxton is 100% an upgrade. I'm sad he left BC because I think, in my mind, he's the best offensive lineman in the CFL. So to lose him, that kind of hurt. But that's one guy. And they brought in some other guys, but I think a lot of them are peripheral guys. And I just think that core needed to get younger, and it didn't. It's still the same core they've had for 5 or 6 years. And that worries me because they weren't good enough last year. I don't know why. Zach Collaros can be better and probably will be better. But is him playing better going to be enough to turn the tables and move them up the standings? I'm not convinced of that. Now, I'm not saying they can't move up the standings. I just think I find it a long shot personally.
Why didn't they go for a full rebuild, William? You have any idea? Why wouldn't they have gone for a full rebuild?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Well, because they don't need a full rebuild. And not that I'm saying anything bad about you, Charles, but you have been saying for the last 3 years They're using the same old tired guys. Well,
Yeah.
2 out of those 3 years, they got to the Grey Cup. Sorry.
Yes, but not last year.
No, not last year.
Cores drop off, they drop off suddenly. They don't just drop off. A lot of times it's not a gradual drop off. And they're regressing. Even though they got to the Grey Cup those 2 years, they scrambled to do it. They were not the strong team that they were in the previous years in the regular season. And I think they've regressed each year. And I think they started to take a bit of a bigger regression last year, and it's the same core. I just don't know if this core at this age has the strength from the chutzpah, so to speak, to really push themselves up the standings that much. I could be wrong. This is just my opinion. I have a hard time seeing it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I have a hard time seeing it.
Okay.
Out of the teams in the West, who do you think is going to give BC Lions a challenge? Because I honestly see BC running the table this year.
You know what? I don't think anybody's going to give BC a challenge, but if BC doesn't perform like we think they should perform, then I'm telling you, I would break that bunch up next year for sure. Because we've had 3 or 4 years now of BC having the best receiver package in the CFL far and away, and they haven't done anything. And they have not done anything. Bottom line. So, I mean, I would give them one more year because that receiving team should destroy everybody. And now they have the quarterback, and they sort of kind of have a running game. And now they should have a pretty good defense with a pretty good defensive leader. So the excuses for them are all gone.
Yeah. I mean, let's face it. In my mind, the BC Lions on paper should be the best team in the CFL. We don't play the games on paper. So that's where it comes into. I mean, they are, I think, the favorite this year. In my mind, they're the favorite this year to win the Grey Cup.
Absolutely.
But again, we've seen favorites in the past, and they just struggle. And maybe it's not the right mix. I mean, offensively, I thought they were pretty much good this year. Defense is where they struggled, especially early last year. I think they've shored up their defense, so there's no excuses. And what Will's saying has some merit. This is a year, this should be their year. If they don't, then you got to start looking and say, you know what, this isn't the right mix.
The other thing,
we're spending a shit ton of money and we're not getting any return on it.
Exactly.
So, I mean, the other thing you have to look at too is when training camp comes and they start doing stuff out there, every single year it's the same thing where potential starters go down in training camp with long-term injuries.
That's
happens
correct.
every year. Who is it going to be this year?
Yep.
Yeah. And
so if Sankey goes down, that destroys a whole lot of what they just tried to build.
Knock on wood.
No, I know.
I think
you can say that about every team too. So
you're right.
You can't say that about every team. And you said who's going to give BC the run for the money? Saskatchewan will give BC the run for the money if Trevor Harris can stay healthy.
Yeah.
We know that that's the biggest question mark in the Western Division.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but with adding Sankey to your roster, I would be livid as a BC season ticket holder if you don't win the league.
I plan to be.
Yeah. That's the Winnipeg Blue Bombers we've wrapped up there. The next question here that Michael's got is the Hamilton Tiger Cats. High risk, high reward. What have they done this year that do we think that they are going to do a little bit better? They were the strongest team in the Eastern Division last year, but that was only because Davis Alexander missed 6-7 games. So are they going to be able to, have they changed enough? Bo Levi Mitchell's had 2 stellar back-to-back seasons. Can he do it again? What's going on in the Eastern Division? It's I have no faith in Ottawa. I have zero faith in Toronto. It's going to be a dogfight between Montreal and Hamilton. Is Hamilton going to be able to step it up another notch. Yes, they were in the lead most of the last season, but they got pummeled in the playoffs. Who wants in?
On this one, I think on this one for me is we all know Bo Levi Mitchell is one hell of a quarterback. That's been proven. And I would hope and assume that there was a long talk between Bo and the coaching staff this offseason saying, what do we need to do to make this team better? And I think for them, they probably made those changes that they felt would make. So I do think, because last year they had a problem with beating any good team. All the teams they beat were mediocre. I do think they'll be stronger. It's just, will it be strong enough?
The thing about the Eastern Division is you don't have to be that strong. You can come in second place and on an 8-game winning season.
We've seen 8 and 10 teams win the Grey Cup.
But you do need to be strong enough to win the Grey Cup.
You need strong to be winning the cup, but we've proven over and over again that on a one game playoff sudden death type of situation, the Eastern Division can come up big, and they have out of 4 out of the last 6 seasons, or
well, that's pretty much the only way. That's pretty much the only way an Eastern team wins the Grey Cup, because it's never usually based on their regular season performance.
No, what happens in the regular season is relevant.
Isn't that like saying the only time the Eastern Division wins the Grey Cup is in the Grey Cup game when they win?
Well, yeah, but
just saying.
I kind of look at this team. I look at they lost Varesic, the second-year player, went to the NFL, went to the Indianapolis Colts. They lost Jonathan Moxey, who's a good player. Deshaun Amos. Is Wynton McManus going to be able to? Is he going to be able to keep them in the ball game? Is he a good replacement?
Depends if he can stay healthy.
Yeah. I mean, I look at this team, and it's almost like Edmonton and Hamilton exchanged players, because Edmonton signed a lot of Hamilton's players, and vice versa. They don't have who's going to be their running back. They let Greg Bell go to Ottawa. Who's going to be the guy that's going to be running the ball this year?
Well, I don't. That's one of the positions that I'm not really upset about losing a running back, because you can find another one in America easily. Okay, running backs are, we use the term dime a dozen all the time, but in reality, they're not hard to find.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that they did sign Carrick Wheatfall from Winnipeg, moved over. I don't think Curly Gittins Jr. is going to be a big free agent signing. He didn't do anything for Edmonton.
No, he didn't.
But you didn't have a quarterback.
True.
They potentially do now.
Who?
Powell.
Yeah.
I'm not going there, guys.
You know what? If you want to compare Cody Fajardo to Bo Levi Mitchell as quarterbacks, you cannot.
No,
it's not possible. Okay.
I'm not
so
going
Curly
to.
Gittins Jr. going to Hamilton has to improve his game. He has to be a better receiver this year.
Mm-hmm.
He has to move his numbers up, or he's just useless. Okay. I mean, night and day difference in QBs.
I think the biggest thing the biggest storyline is going to be with Davis Alexander losing the Grey Cup. Will he have the same magic going into this season that he's had every year since he's been in Montreal?
That is one thing that's a great point, Mike, because that's one thing we've never seen him have to come off of a loss before. How's he going to handle it?
Yeah, but I'm under the impression that he's an arrogant kind of guy, and he's going to come back just like he was last year. Trust.
Yeah, that's really possible.
And he'll try and run over people, and he'll get hurt again. and yada, 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 until eventually 2 or 3 or 4 years from now, he realizes his ways and he stops. Now,
He
as far as
lost.
as far as Hamilton goes, you know what? Signing Wynton McManus. Now, you want to talk about somebody who's past their prime? Let's talk about Wynton McManus, okay? He's hurt all the time. And if they brought him in to replace, who was the Canadian linebacker last year that they started? They got rid of their starting linebacker. He came to Calgary, and he was a Canadian. What was his name? It was a strange name. Shit. I was just looking at the roster. I can't see him. So is he the guy who went to the NFL, Mike?
I think so.
What was his name?
Oh, God, what was his name? I know who you're talking about.
Anyways, he's not
So
good
do I,
enough
and
to
I
be
can't
in
remember
the,
what the name is.
he's not good enough to be in the NFL. He'll be back by September, I guarantee it.
Well,
Okay?
that I would say the same thing is going to be about Verisak. I'm not sure that he's going to make the NFL. He's small. He's a great linebacker. I love the guy. I love the way he played in Hamilton, but I don't think he's going to be able to make it in the NFL.
Devin Versick.
There it is.
Mind you, you know what? He's a real good run stopper. There's no doubt about it. And if you think about it, I was shocked, as much as you guys know how much I love Alex Singleton. I was shocked that Denver gave him that kind of a contract, because I saw his ass get burnt on coverage plays this year, and he's just too slow to be a coverage linebacker. But he's a great run stopper.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why they signed him. They need to run stop as well. Make up for it elsewhere.
So, my
Anyways.
take back on going back to Davis Alexander for a second. I don't think he was really tested by strength last season. Okay. So we know that he has won every CFL regular season game he's ever started.
Yep.
But I don't think he was tested by the better teams.
Well, no, because he was injured.
Yeah. He didn't. I know he didn't play BC at all last year.
He did not.
I don't remember if he played Saskatchewan.
No. So how can you say that he's this amazing quarterback when he gets to beat Ottawa and Toronto and Winnipeg and Edmonton, but doesn't jump up and play? I don't know. William, how did you guys play him last year? Did Calgary play him?
Yes.
You did?
We lost to them by 3 points.
Yeah, I think he did.
What about the second game? He wasn't there?
No, I don't think he was there.
Okay.
The first game he was, and they lost.
Okay.
Well, he beat Edmonton on the last.
And I think the second
last
game,
series
I
of the
think
game.
the second game was one of the games where Vernon Adams was not there either. So.
Okay. So.
But here's the other thing. Part of it though is, and with him in the lineup versus out of the lineup, the team just played differently for him.
Yeah.
With him in there versus not in there. Does that
100%.
If they continue to play like that with him in the lineup, again, because it comes down to Will's thing, he needs to lose the cockiness.
Well, the other thing you got to take a look at.
Go ahead, Mike.
Montreal's not going to be they've lost some players in free agency. They're not going to be the same team that they were last year.
They don't have to be. They're in the Eastern Division.
Well, but they did lose Darnell Sankey, so, and that's a big one.
That's huge. That guy is going to create a locker room in BC that scares the hell out of me.
Or maybe not.
Or maybe not. Yeah. I love to see it. I'm cautiously optimistic on that, Michael, but I've seen shit happen in BC before where we've had the absolute best team, bar none, on paper, and just absolutely shit the bed in the league, in the regular season. So I'm not cautiously optimistic is the best way I could put the BC Lions this year as a fan.
Check out 2005 when the BC Lions started 11-0. and then
Yeah,
collapsed down the stretch.
and only finished the season 12-6.
12-6.
How do you start a season 11-0 and then lose 6 fucking games?
Yeah, I remember that.
Mind you, I also remember 2011, where they lost the first 5 games.
0-5 and then finished 12-6.
No, they didn't finish that
But
strong.
see,
I think it was
that at
11
least
and
maybe 11-7.
11-7. I think they were.
that makes sense though, that you get stronger as you go.
Yeah.
When was
Okay,
when was the last time BC won the cup?
that year,
11.
2011.
2011.
Okay. Next gen pass rushers. That's not a good thing of mine. I'm trying to read your thing here. I don't understand. Is there a dominant QB in the league that can take your team to the title? This is a question that you asked, Michael. Is there a dominant quarterback in the league that can take your team to the title? Well, Trevor Harris can and will and has. Nathan Rourke has not proved it, but everybody believes that he can.
He has the two. Well, maybe not will, but
My vote is for Cody. He's
I'm not
done it
going there.
once.
I'm not
He's done
going
it
there.
once. He can do
I
it again.
not going there.
honestly believe, I believe in my heart that Vernon Adams can do it.
I don't.
Okay. I don't know if he has the team to back him up right now, but I believe
want
that
to
he can
believe it.
actually do it.
I think Nathan Rourke. Sorry, I think Vernon Adams is in the same position as Nathan Rourke. We've seen Vernon Adams. He has lots of tools. He's got the
Yep.
ability. So does Nathan Rourke. But Vernon Adams just has never done it. And I don't know if he ever will.
I don't know if he ever will either, but I think he has the ability to do it.
Absolutely.
Right.
Mhm.
So, if
But
you
then-
go across the quarterbacks in the league, 4 out of the West Division have got the ability to win the Grey Cup.
Yes.
You go into the East, you got at least one with Bo Levi Mitchell that could. Chad Kelly,
Bo Levi Mitchell.
he's the big dark horse in the Eastern Division this year, is whether or not Chad Kelly can step up his game back to when he had a 16-2 season
Right.
before pre-injury.
Let's go with a vote of show of hands. Whoever thought that Marcus Crandall had the ability in 2001 to win a Grey Cup? Whoever thought? Come on, show me your hands, guys.
Nope.
Mike,
Nope.
don't do it. Don't do it, Mike.
I still
Don't do it,
don't
Mike.
know how he did that.
I've never seen Marcus Crandall play.
Go watch.
Winnipeg
yeah.
was Mike. Winnipeg was drunk during the Grey Cup. Okay, that's how they
Yeah.
lost.
Obviously,
It's the only
they were literally
explanation.
head and shoulders.
Mike, Calgary was 8-11 that year.
Winnipeg should
Winnipeg
have
was
routed those guys.
14-4.
And you
Crandall
lost?
wasn't even their number 1 quarterback.
No, sir.
Yeah, no. Just keep your arms down. Do not put your hand up.
Go back and
But-
watch some of his highlights, or what they call highlights.
2008? Is it 2008?
No,
2001.
2001.
Okay, I'll watch it.
Like they
Yeah.
had Charles White, Winnipeg. They had Milt Stiegel. They had everybody.
Go and watch Marcus Crandall,
And
and you'll
they-
understand
they-
how Fajardo won a Grey Cup.
And the Bombers had basically dominated that entire regular season. I think they were 14-4 or something like
Yes,
that.
they were 14.
And they had basically been beating the crap out of everybody. The Lions played them in the playoffs that year and lost by 30-plus points.
Yep.
And then they go up against friggin' Marcus Crandall in the Grey Cup and lose.
That was when Winnipeg was in the Eastern Division, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, but
No,
and
they
Mike,
still- no,
and
they were-
Mike,
They
sorry,
were,
go
yes.
ahead.
Yeah,
And
you're
Mike,
right. They
I
were.
was a Winnipeg fan still back then. and I was so confident of the
explains a
Grey Cup win that I left notes on everybody's desk at work. Okay, on Friday night. And Sunday night, I caught myself back at the office picking up all these notes because I couldn't handle it. Okay.
They got pummeled. Okay. So, what is it saying here? Accuracy and processing. Trevor Harris wins. I don't know about that. I would say Bo Levi Mitchell does. Playmaking and off the script ability with Nathan Rourke. Hard to argue with that. How he extends the plays, creates explosive when structure breaks. Running threat. Number one quarterback in the CFL is Trey Ford. Where did this come from? Interesting. Deep passing threat is Vernon Adams.
This all came from the CFL.
I can see it.
He's pretty good at the deep passes. I don't necessarily disagree. He's got a good arm.
Him and Bo.
He's one of the. I'd say he's in the top 3.
Yeah.
I don't know. Those two would be my choices if I had to pick between Bo and Vernon Adams.
They both got really good arms. Yep.
The rest of them are more intermediate guys.
Well, but I don't want to sound.
I would have thrown Zach Collaros in that conversation, but back 3 or 4 years ago. Certainly not anymore.
I don't want to sound like a BC Lion fan, but you got to put Nathan Rourke in there too.
Nathan Rourke is a good deep ball thrower too.
He can throw the ball.
Yeah. And I would also put Nathan Rourke in for running quarterback too.
Nathan Rourke is the most complete quarterback in the league.
He's the most well-rounded quarterback at this point in time, in my opinion.
That's far, yeah.
And I've been a Nathan Rourke fan for 3, maybe 4 years now.
He's been in the league. How many years has he been in the league?
He was in the league in 2011 or 2021. He didn't play much. He played all of
been here for
2022.
At least 4 or 5 years. So just so you guys know, CJ's been a Nathan Rourke fan for 12 years now. So.
And he's not even the better Rourke in terms of being the quarterback. Isn't his brother better?
I don't know that one yet.
Maybe in college he's better.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to wait to see if he comes.
Let's see if his brother makes any waves.
Curtis put up better numbers in college. He went to a better team. He did. He was playing with Ohio, and then he moved over somewhere else. I don't remember. But and he is still on the roster of the San Francisco 49ers. So just the fact that he's stuck there for a year and a half on the IR has got to say that they at least have some hope for him. The downside to Curtis Rourke, of course, is that the Saskatchewan Roughriders hold us the rights in Canada. We don't want to see the Riders be successful.
That's also the downside for Rourke. That's also the downside for Rourke. Is that
means nothing until you sign a guy.
I would say, don't you think his brother's going to wind up in Saskatchewan at some point?
Of course I do.
Rights mean nothing until they're
It's
signed.
certainly possible.
Yeah.
Although I would love to see a Rourke versus Rourke game.
That would be nice. I would love to see
Curtis
Rourke, but I don't foresee it ever happening personally.
Why?
In Saskatchewan. Not Saskatchewan. I just don't see it happening.
Oh, you mean a breakup or a game? You don't think he's coming?
I don't see him ever signing in Saskatchewan.
Well, hell,
I just don't see it.
You didn't think you'd have tailgating in Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan has never in our history had one of the top style quarterbacks in the league. Trevor Harris is the closest we've really come.
Okay. I do believe Curtis Rourke is going to come to the CFL.
Yes. Just not Saskatchewan.
So are you trying to tell me that Saskatchewan is going to give up and or sell or trade his rights? They're stupid.
Yes.
They won't do it.
Yes. Well, here's the thing though. Is Craig Reynolds still our president?
Well, it is Saskatchewan.
And is Jeremy O'Day still our GM? Because I don't trust either of those two.
that guy, don't you think that if Curtis worked, that one of the things about coming to the CFL to play in Saskatchewan, you'd be treated like a god.
Oh,
that,
he'd have
And
streets
that's
and
not a good
buildings
thing.
and
That's not necessarily a good thing.
why?
It's not. It's
the
very
problem
it's
is you have no
detrimental.
privacy. You have no privacy.
You know,
Because
it's
the
kind of
second
weird for me to
you
hear
anywhere.
Scott say that about the rider hierarchy just months after they won a Grey Cup.
What's that? Sorry, Charles?
It was weird to hear for you, a Rider fan, to say that about the Riders hierarchy just months after the Riders won a Grey Cup.
I'm a realistic Rider fan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not one of those retards on the internet.
Yeah. So you're basically
The
saying
problem
the Riders
is
won the Grey
that
Cup in spite
Greg-
of those guys.
Craig Reynolds cares more about the money in his pocket than he does in the team. You
Mhm.
saw that by the tailgating thing that he just did, which from a business perspective was brilliant, but from the rest of it was stupid. Jeremy O'Day, I don't know. He put together a team last year. When the Riders had players go down, players stepped up. Now, I got to give him some credit for that because he brought the players in. Coach Mace, put them on the team and he coached them up and everything like that. So Jeremy O'Day, Craig Reynolds is a worthless piece of what.
I'm not a Craig Reynolds fan. Never have been. Never will be.
No.
I just don't think he should be in the league.
No.
But he is.
No.
And they just won a Grey Cup.
Either.
Yeah.
You have to admit, though, the Saskatchewan was a real good story last year, and the way the community came out and supported that victory, it was like great watching the Green Bay Packers win the championship again.
Yeah, it is.
No, Saskatchewan's
Oh, yeah,
always
it was 2
like
blocks
that.
away from my house. That parade was 2 blocks from my house.
The rest of us in the league are envious of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. There's no two ways about that. Okay,
Yeah.
Nobody's going to question that one. I would love half the fan support in BC that Saskatchewan gets. Okay,
Right.
and
That's always been the amazing part of it is no matter where you go, you're seeing flocks of Rider fans.
I mean, how many Rider jerseys did you guys see in Italy at the Olympics?
Lots.
They're fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
How many Riders jerseys did I see yesterday because it was St.
Patrick's Day in Calgary?
St. Patrick's Day.
They're everywhere, I'm sure.
You see these
Fortunately,
guys,
I
you see
didn't
them walking
see
around
any.
the Grey Cup with watermelons on their head, and
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, the only thing is that they rip off the New York Jets uniforms. Outside of that, they're a good story.
I don't know.
But
I'd almost say they had it first. So
Yeah. So, Mike, did you say last time we were on the air, I swear to God, near the end of it, you were saying something about wanting to discuss the tailgating thing in Saskatchewan? Was that correct?
oh yeah, yes.
So the idea of it is it's only for season ticket holders. And what the lottery is as a season ticket holder, you get to put your name into a pot. Once the pot time is run out, which is somewhere in April, what they do is they sit there and say, this is how many slots we have, this is how many people want to invest. And let's say they have 20 people, but they can only handle 10. They draw 10 names. The winner pays the rider organization $500, and they get 2 parking spots, one for their vehicle, one to do whatever they want to do. They can have as many people with them as they don't have to buy liquor from the government or anything. They can supply their own food, supply their own whatever they want, give it away for free, charge for it. Doesn't make a difference. But they have to pay $500 to do it.
That's crap.
It's so
From
stupid.
a business standpoint, it's brilliant because you make $500 times how many people.
That's still crap.
I wouldn't pay
But the season ticket holders, though, that we have that are involved in it are absolutely ecstatic that they get to do it because we haven't been able to for so long. I think it's the stupidest thing ever, but the season ticket holders are happy.
Well, what is tailgating is a part of the football culture.
Yeah.
Why would you want to stop it?
Why would you want to what?
Why would you want to prevent it? Which is what Saskatchewan
It's
has
not
done.
available
So
just about
it's-
any team in the CFL. I think
it's not that they
Winnipeg's the
wanna-
best one for tailgating.
It's not that they want to
Calgary's pretty
prevent
good.
it. They laid down a law for drinking in public one year, and the rider organization at the time was like, "Oh well." And from there, no one just cared to do anything. And then they sent out a bunch of things saying, you know, what will bring you to a football game? What will the and everyone was sitting there going, and there was a lot of them going, I want tailgating like Winnipeg has.
Yeah. Now clearly
So it
you
was-
can't do tailgating in BC.
Yeah.
Well,
with
they shut it down.
Well, and there's nowhere to do it.
And
Not
we have
really, no.
we have a house near Mosaic, and it's called Wayne's World. During the regular season, when you walk by this house, you'll see at most half a dozen people in the yard. When Labor Day comes, that you can't walk through this yard because they welcome all the Blue Bomber fans to come in, and everyone has a gay old time. It's right beside the stadium. Cops can't do nothing because it's in their yard. But if the Winnipeg Blue Bombers are not in town, there's maybe half a dozen people in there, just because we're not used to being able to drink and be at
Scott.
the game.
Scott, when did Regina get police?
Well, okay. They dress up in uniform. They don't do any policing, but they dress up.
Okay.
You can be the
I
sheriff.
should have
today.
rephrased that a little bit.
Well, don't they have tailgating in Calgary?
Yes,
Yes, they do.
that's another decent one. I've been to through there a few times.
Yeah, and I'm not a tailgater, but I do walk by a whole bunch of them on the way into the stadium. And there's a lot of people around me who tailgate all year long, and I guess they're spectacular.
This is no joke. When we go to Oregon State football games here, my best friend and I said, well, we're gonna eat at a tailgate. I don't know which one we're gonna find, but when we get there, we're gonna find a tailgater, and I've got a couple bottles of booze. I bring it with me. It gets me into a tailgate.
I know.
I love it.
The problem in BC, the problem in Toronto is their stadiums are downtown in a metropolitan city. There is no area in which you could tailgate. It just does not exist.
There used to be a large lot right in behind BC Place Stadium where I would go sometimes to tailgate. There's a building there now.
It was sold for $1 billion.
Yeah.
I mean, the price of real estate around BC Place is absolutely stupid and ridiculous. And in fact, I don't know if it still exists, but the only place that they were holding tailgating was they took over the McDonald's parking lot,
which was blocks away from the stadium.
You know, half a mile.
Well, they have tailgating in Seattle at Seahawks Stadium.
Yes, they do.
And you know what, guys? You haven't seen tailgating till you go to the Daytona 500, okay?
Oh yeah.
Now that's
Well,
now
that I
that's-
can imagine.
Now that's tailgating, let me tell you. It's kind of scary, as a matter of fact.
I can imagine. But I get to experience Winnipeg's this year, so that'll be fun.
Now, Ed, does Edmonton have tailgating? I think we do.
Yeah, Cody
idea.
flips the burgers for it.
Yes, he does.
Well, that's because he's a burger flipper. That's what his job's going to be after football.
He
So
goes
he's
from-
like
he goes
saving
from
up for
Barbie-
it.
That's part of Cody's marketing money, okay? He flips burgers before
He's
games.
practicing up for his lifelong career.
Oh my
He
God.
goes from the barbecue to the huddle.
Yeah.
You guys are going to be eating your words in come November.
No, we're not.
Mm.
Like I said, Mike, if Edmonton finishes higher than Saskatchewan, I will wear an Edmonton Elks jersey with Fajardo's name on it.
I'll buy it for you.
I know you will. I won't have to worry about that.
I don't wear another man's clothing ever. So there's no way I'm wearing a jersey with any player's name on it.
That's the confidence that I have.
I'm trying to find.
Yes, confidence that I have. Yes, of course, Scott.
I remember somewhere on YouTube, there's actually a video from the 2005 Western Final between BC and Edmonton. There was a guy. There was actually a big tailgate party before that, and I remember we went down for that like 9 a.m. We were the first people in the parking lot, and some guy came through and did a bunch of videos, and one of them had us on it. I'm trying to find it, but I don't know if it's still up or not. I'll share it if I can find it.
Anything else you guys want to touch base on here? Because this is kind of it.
Yeah,
I need to go to bed.
Really needs to go to bed. He needs his beauty sleep. Look, he hasn't had it for a long.
5 a.m. comes 4:15 comes really early, guys.
Unfortunately,
I was up at 2:30 today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this has been Let's Talk CFL podcast episode number 640. I've been your host, Christopher Jones, and I'm going to say goodnight, and we'll pass the baton over to Willie.
Willie says good night, all you CFL fans. Football's coming soon. There is going to be other football on TV soon, but not the CFL, but football is coming sooner than later.
Charles.
Good night. We will talk to you next week, which will be 1 week closer to the start of the CFL season. So we're over halfway through March and training camp begins in May. So we're getting closer.
We're almost the end of March.
Yes, we are.
It was my birthday last Saturday, guys. Did you know that? Anyhow, that's the middle of the month. That's usually the time change, and we did the time change a week earlier. But anyhow, Scott, say good night.
Good night, everyone, and we'll talk some football next week.
And Michael.
Have a good week, everybody, and just enjoy that football's going to be back in less than 90 days.
Yeah. I sent you a message, Michael. Take a look at it. Okay, good night, guys. I'm going to turn this thing off now. Where is it? There it is. Stop recording.